Technology is taking over the world, and there's such a thing as e-learning and virtual work. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lifestyle Show here on New World TV. As you remain your humble host, EJ, thank you all very much for joining us. So if you haven't followed us, please do follow the Lifestyle playlist on New World TV YouTube. Like, subscribe, and keep sharing. Once again, you all are welcome. With me today are two very special guests, and we are going to be talking about something very important, which is the impact of virtual learning and remote work on the young adults. And the two very hefty men that are going to be helping me talk about it today. I'll begin with let me start with the new person, Mr. Hope.
Yes,
please. How do I pronounce your the surname? Sorry.
Uniovosa. It's hard for people to pronounce.
It sounds like a Portuguese name.
No.
It's a Nigerian name from South.
Okay. So it's so good to have you here.
Yeah, thank you.
He's an IT specialist and he's also a lecturer. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for joining us today, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
And then we have Mr. Jerry.
Yeah.
He's a journalist and he's also a producer at New World TV. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys. You guys might be wondering why I paired these two people up. So the reason why I paired them up is because this one is Mr. Hope is an IT specialist, and Mr. Jerry he's doing very well when it comes to production, and I think he has an idea about the virtual work thing that I talked about. So then they will be helping us talk about it. First of all, let's understand what virtual work is, and then what e-learning is. I think I'll give the e-learning to Mr. Hope, and then I'll give the virtual work to Mr. Jerry.
Good for it.
Okay, so Mr. Hope, let's start with you first. What's e-learning?
Okay, when we are talking about e-learning,
right,
it can also call virtual learning,
all right,
or we can say electronic learning.
All right.
Now, e-learning is we can say whereby learning via the internet or using a virtual platform.
Okay.
So it's the ability to communicate knowledge, pass information via the internet.
Right.
And we're talking about learning, because when you say learning and education, it can be learning different things, even aside educational degree. So learning via seminar, learning via the classroom, also learning skills.
Right.
It can also be using an internet platform or a virtual platform.
All right, then. Thank you very much, sir. So, Mr. Jerry, what is virtual jobs or virtual work?
Well, before I even get to that, I think I want to touch a little bit on the e-learning, because anything that has got to do with being outside a particular structure or an established structure could be considered e-learning, in the sense that it has to do with someone being at one part of the world perhaps, and the other being on another part, and what connects them is the use of technology and then the internet.
All right, then.
So you share materials with people. Usually it has to involve the learner and then the instructor. I think that is, there has to be that connection. So learner, instructor, and then a medium to which they can connect. Now with remote work too, I think it goes in a similar way.
Okay.
Remote work is the ability to work aside being at a stationary place.
All right, then.
So in my line of work, for example, we have something we call an online producer or a line producer. That person works not exactly on set or in the studio or on the shooting production set, but works maybe from somewhere far away, coordinating, giving instructions and all that. Sometimes to the extent where they have to do video conferences, video calls, just to make sure everything is going as it should go. So when we talk about online or virtual, it deals more with being in an open space that is not, constrained, and then using a medium to connect with each other.
All right, thank you very much for that, Mr. Jerry. Now, Mr. Hope, the first question: how does online learning change regular schools?
Okay, how does online learning change regular schools? Now, during I think around 2020, especially during the COVID-19 lockdown, educational institutions, they were forced to adopt
the e-learning. Okay.
Now, it was also an opportunity for them to also create a blended learning platform. For example, they were able to create an hybrid learning. Okay. They were able to use a virtual platform and also face-to-face learning. Okay. Now, apart from that, it also gives them the ability to collaborate with, let me say, global perspective or global tutors. Okay. It gives you the ability to learn in your own pace. Now, you know, when we are talking about how it's actually changed. Now, for example, even our institution, like IAC University in Togo, and also both the French and English program, we were actually forced to move online. This actually happened all over the world because there was a global lockdown. So it actually affects the traditional learning in various ways. All right then. So
thank you very much, sir. Mr. Jerry, do you buy what he's saying?
Yeah, I agree with him because I could remember even back in media school, I was actually working hard to do a top up on my certification. So being someone here and not attending the classes in person, I had to get some of the notes from other people. But eventually I had to still go some few days before to at least catch up, because there's always that feel or difference or security that you have when you are physically there to actually go through the learning, because you never know. So it's very important.
Thank you very much. I want to ask you a further question. Okay, how do work from home option affect job choices, course option, and job availabilities?
Okay, first of all, in terms of job choice, I think depending on the profession in which you are, like a graphic designer, for example, it doesn't need a confined place to work.
You can actually work anywhere.
Right. Talking even in terms of media, like I give the example of a line producer, you don't have to be in person there or present at the place to do your work. And aside from that, so in terms of job availability, I think there is more profit or benefit or advantages now than that, because, for example, when you go on my LinkedIn profile, I get people to ask me to do translation work, interpreting work, all because I am there. So the limit or the barrier of I'm in Togo, so my network is only in Togo, is broken down. I can go beyond that. Now with job offers too, nowadays people are given the opportunity to choose in-person, part-time, remote, and hybrid. Hybrid in the sense that you can do both. So I think he has rather opened more doors to people to connect, to learn, to teach, and do all the work that they have to do.
So how about the course choice?
Course choice, I think, like he said earlier, citing his example from the COVID time, certain things necessitate that we move from a practice to the other. So if I want to do a course, I think every course now you can basically do something about it online. I think so. So I don't think there's any limitation in terms of course or the subject you choose to do.
Is it correct about that?
Yeah, my contribution to that in the aspect of course choice. Now, you know, there's more of a practical course. For example, now computer science. Every computer science student learning in a campus. Most of them learn what they know today online. So you know, all you just have to do, you just need your computer system. You get lecture from you get they tutor you by your lecturers. Now there are some things you have to do some research. So it allows you to also go online to also learn from other global tutors, global professionals. Which is I think I go with what he said.
All right then. So thirdly, what skills do you think you need to succeed in online learning and remote jobs? What are some of the skills as a computer or IT specialist?
I'm going to classify it into two. There's what we call soft skills, and there's what we call hard skills.
All right then.
Now, relating to the question, when we're talking about soft skills, in order the skills you need or the required skills you need to be able to cope online. First of all, you need to have a very good discipline. When we're talking about discipline, you need to have a very good timing skill.
All right then.
You know, people learning online, one thing they lack is procrastination. They always procrastinate. Okay, let me go and do, because nobody is there monitoring you. Doesn't mean so you need to discipline yourself. You need to master what called timing skill.
All right then. What else?
Now, apart from that,
do you need to have a background on computer, like a very in-depth?
No, I'm going to the art skill. I'm still on soft skill. So you need to know there's what we call precise communication. The ability to get the information of what you are trying to achieve. Now, when we're talking about hard skill, there are some basic technological skills you need. There's no need for you to be advanced. For example, know how to use some virtual platform. Now, if you check, there's what we call Coursera. It's one of the most global learning platform and skills share. People are using that to learn skills. Coursera people are using that to take courses. For example, there was a time I did a course called in the US. I have a postgraduate diploma in education and training. I was here while I was doing the course there. So there was a platform that bridged the gap between me and the professionals who is taking the course.
Right.
So the basic skills you need is how to use a basic platform. Apart from that, and how you can be able, at least basically like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office.
Okay.
It's not limited to those who knows how to use the system. Anybody can do that.
Can learn that. All right.
So
thank you very much, sir. Mr. Jerry, do you have any contribution to this?
Of course.
Yes,
I
please.
think he enlightened on discipline.
Yes.
It is one of the greatest things that we feel, even in classroom though, but I think more with online, because we have the freedom to be able to do things how we want and when we want. The other thing too is, like you said, also time management.
Right.
When you have a schedule, you have to follow it, because you cannot expect to join a Zoom call or conference and at 2 p.m. you are joining by 2:30 because you feel maybe you're not the one supposed to talk at the meantime. Forgetting that if it was a classroom, you have to be in class before the lecturer comes. And another thing too is communication. He spoke about, you have to be concise. We have that tendency of chatting more when we are in person, but on communication you have to be like on point and then give out what is direct there, and then you just move ahead with it. Using technology is also important, because Microsoft, whether you like it or not, in every field of work we have now, it is available.
Right.
Some people don't even know how to bolden, italics, and the rest, but you have to. So sometimes with the demands that come with the choice of the job you want to do or the course you choose, you have to start, like you said, we research, get the information you need on what you have to do in terms of the online work and the virtual learning.
All right, then. Okay, thank you very much. Now, which new technologies support online learning and remote work? He's mentioned few. He said Coursera. Can you give us some more?
First of all, me, I'm more into production, so I'll talk about Zoom, Skype, talk about Microsoft Teams and the rest, because each platform has something that is unique to it, that when you are on the platform, either you can record the conversation, you can type into the conversation whilst you're on the call and all that. At times you can share your screen, you can communicate with other people on the sideline, outside we call it a door or the room. You chat with someone outside the room whilst you're on the call. That is one of the other ways. Now, talking about Coursera, I think I also did a course on cyber security. I didn't really complete it.
Yes, you were saying something about that. Yes.
So I did a course on that, and it's thanks to virtual learning and then remote work. And I think, well, we can't mention all the applications right now though, but I think there are a number of them out there that, depending on your course and your job, you could make use.
So do you have any more?
Yes. I have to say something to that.
Yes,
now, I own a company called EduTech, where we provide digital solution for educational institution. Now, we provide this platform for schools that want to go online, that want to make use or take advantage of the virtual platform. Also, now, for example, there was a professional institution called Chartered Institute of Commerce in Nigeria. Now, they have so many applicants making inquiry. I want to take this professional course. You know, we are in a world now where people want to upgrade their skills, or upgrade their professional career. So the owner of that Chartered Institute was like, we have people from US, people from UK, they want to upgrade their skills. And it was like, how do we go about it? Then I proposed a solution that, now, this thing is very easy. I can provide this platform for you for so and so cost. What you have to do, now you have the material. They say we can bring in that material in and set up the platform, brand it to your name. Your student come and register, take courses. There's what we call virtual classroom, whereby you can be in contact with the lecturer live. It has even upgraded to a place whereby people can even do mathematical computation online now.
Wow.
So I've heard of that before.
A lot of things are going, people, you know, we human beings will upgrade things with time. So many things. There are so many platforms, Coursera, Google platform. Most of the school in the world now have adopted virtual learning platform. All
right, thank you very much for that contribution. Now, how can sir, this question is for you. How can companies help remote workers feel supported and confident?
Okay, now when it comes to remote work, one thing people lack is what employees lack is one, isolation, social life, and how to actually really work very effective. Sometimes they can be going through emotional trauma. Now, apart from that, what's the solution
to all of this?
To all of this is what we call, like we said, concise communication. They must communicate. The employers must communicate to the employees concisely, directly, and they should not just leave them on their own.
Okay.
There should also be what we call virtual communities or virtual forum, where employees communicate with themselves. There's what we call virtual socialization.
Okay.
Where one or two people or the employees come together in a virtual event, talk to each other, communicate. They can also create what we call what do we call it? The well-being awareness.
Wow. Okay.
They can take some courses on how to go about it. So with all these attributes,
it should be able to help.
Yes, it can be able to help employees to be able to cope with remote work.
All right. So, do you have any contribution to this?
I think I have two major things to look at. That is the appreciation or appraisal or contribution.
Right.
You know, we've grown with the in classroom, in structure sort of learning. So sometimes if you see the person physically, you appreciate the person more in terms of what the person do.
Right.
Although we have issues with that as well. But with online or e-learning, people feel like you are not there. They don't know what you are doing. So some people are not really able to measure the how do I put it? The contribution those who work remotely do in terms of the work they have to do. Because imagine we are doing a Zoom call on your show right now.
Yes.
We are here physically. Someone will say you've moved to your place. Maybe you have something to do. You sacrifice your time and all those things. Forgetting that the person who is equally doing it at home would have to be posed during that moment to do whatever you are also doing in studio. So we have to appreciate those who do remote work. We have to appreciate their contribution. And also, because we are not physically in contact with them, we have to, from time to time, converse with those people. Not only when it is work that we do our conference, our Zoom calls, and that is the end of it. They are also human beings, just like those who are physically there. So we have to talk to them, find out their well-being, not just sometimes by text. Sometimes you hear the person's voice, you can detect things. So you need to do the calling, sometimes video call or audio call and all that. If possible, send someone to come and visit them. Or just send something like a small appreciation to the person.
Do companies do this? Do companies do this?
I'm hoping we start doing that.
Do you think the companies do this?
Talk about work. This happens to everybody. People, anything you are doing now, you are sitting based on how motivated you are. So that appraiser, that saying thank you for doing this, it goes a long way. You know, even God in heaven, when you appreciate him, say thank you,
he will pay you back.
So this gratitude plays a very important role.
Much is expected, of course. Yeah,
so the appreciation, like you said, is very, very.
But companies don't do it. That's basically what I'm asking. They don't. Our Nigerian, our African companies, you people don't do it.
When we're doing convocation, like when we're doing convocation last year, October 2023, we gave best staff award. Best lecture, you know, those things makes the other lecturer want to say, I need to get this, I need to work harder.
Their motivation.
So that motivation will make the staff feel like one family.
Just that sometimes we feel motivation should often come in terms of money, something that we can spend, something that we feel quantified.
I mean, considering the exchange rate now, what do you expect? What do you expect? Final question before we wrap up. Can African schools switch to e-learning? Now, we have to be very tactical with this very question. I know you'd want to tell me that some schools are already adopting it. So, Mr. Jerry, I'll begin with you, please.
Now, with the word switch, I'm a bit contemplating, because by switch, do we mean completely or partially?
Completely?
No, I don't think completely will be a good thing, because, like I said, we are humans. We need that social interaction. I'm not trying to demonize social media, but it's already taken that part of humanity away from us. So the learning process usually doesn't involve only one person, but with social media you can just take your phone, be alone at home and do whatever you want to do.
But don't you think, I'm sorry to cut you short, this when we switch, you know, there are so many parents, right, that want to actually go to school, but they do not have the forum due to some family issues. There are so many kids at home that have the money to actually fend for the tuition fees online because they are working and they want to school as well, so they multitask. So don't you think this should be like in a way to actually help?
Okay, we can put the situation depending on the context, but we cannot apply it generally.
Yes.
Yeah, that is my understanding or my perception of it. Because like I'm always saying, there has to be a physical contact. There has to be. Imagine you're supposed to breastfeed your child virtually. How do you do it? So
that would be so weird.
So I think it is important to incorporate rather the virtual learning and the remote work much more than we are doing now, because even now with the introduction of robots and stuff, people are scared. Even the jobs that we are talking about remote and stuff will be done by robots. So if you don't take time, the technology, the good intention of the technologies we are practicing, whether in school or work, we might be shocked that what we are creating ourselves will become our downfall. So we shouldn't take away that humanity aspect of learning or remote work. It has to be there.
All right, thank you very much. So what do you have to say regarding?
Okay, let me say something. You know, there are different categories of people. Now, when it comes to virtual learning or moving to virtual learning, as it is now in West Africa, apart from we say we want to move, we also need what we call the technological infrastructure to be able to move completely online. And as it is now, West Africa, we don't fully have it. There are a lot of, for example, now, when you're attending a virtual classroom, simply means you need a strong internet connection.
Okay.
That's one of the factors. You need the technological device, either your tablet or your laptop. So we cannot say we are moving
quiet space, because sometimes
we cannot say we cannot say we are moving fully online. We can only make it hybrid.
Yes.
When we say hybrid, while you are doing some classes online, you will also need to be in touch with your lecturer.
But some schools don't even agree on the hybrid. We are talking about hybrid. I know
he spoke about infrastructure.
Right.
First of all, in certain content, there has to be policies.
Yes.
That has to be implemented. So even if you have the infrastructure and there's no policy, it can't work. If you have the policy and there's no infrastructure, you can't work. That is why we have to situate it. So the complete moving or shifting, I don't think
it's possible.
It's not like it's not possible, but I don't think it's the best solution. He was saying something earlier, and I pick an idea. Somebody might be good in learning physically, face to face,
right,
than doing it online. Because some people that we like, they need that person to be behind them to give them that feel like I am there. You have to do what you are doing. We can't take that's the one part of the humanity I'm talking about. You can't take that away.
Now, now another aspect is that I'm not saying we should move completely, but it should be in consideration.
Exactly.
Or we can start adopting it.
Okay.
Some people, some countries in West Africa actually adopt it. Now, there are some working class professionals.
Exactly.
For example, you are working, but there are some professional courses you need to take.
Yeah.
But you might not have that particular time to say, let me go to a particular classroom. So we have so many people working in the government as now, but they want to upgrade.
Yes.
So they can get promoted. So doing that part, they have to just enroll some virtual class while they are doing their work.
Exactly.
They will just start doing the course online. So it also help. So while we cannot move completely now, we can also make it blended or hybrid learning. All right, then. So that's what I can say.
Thank you very much. So what's your final take on this very topic?
Well, I want to end up by saying I completely disagree with shifting completely from traditional classrooms to online classes or e-learning. But I think we have to incorporate the e-learning and the remote work much more. But it should be done in an effective way, so it doesn't take away the part of humanity that we still need. We are humans, flesh and blood.
Okay. Now imagine, see what is going on in Nigeria now. When they inaugurate our president, just say I remove fuel subsidy.
Yes.
Now removing this fuel subsidy is the right decision, but the pattern of removing it is actually what we are questioning. You just removing it. Well, what is the backup plan to actually sustain it for that particular period of time?
Yeah. Okay.
So when we're talking about online learning, we can consider it, but we should not just move completely. Now, when we talk about technological infrastructure, for example, now in the West African countries, there's what we call cloud computing, like data centers. There are so many. We only have in Africa. We only have data centers in South Africa. Apart from that, we don't have anywhere in most African countries. Okay. So there's so many work we have to do in terms of the technological infrastructure before we can effectively say we want to move completely. Even now, there are so many areas that are having issues what we call internet connection. But thanks to Elon Musk, we can now be able to use internet in some rural and urban areas. Yeah. So, but we are going there.
We eventually get there.
Those who are already practicing maybe it's not even complete, because even the people who are a bit advanced are still doing the hybrid. I think that is the best solution.
All right, then. So you guys have heard it. Thank you very much, Mr. Jerry, for joining us. Thank you, Sahop, IT specialist, and Mr. Jerry, a journalist. Thank you all very much for tuning or for joining us for today's show. If you have not subscribed to the Lifestyle Playlist, don't forget, please do subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow the Lifestyle Playlist on New World TV YouTube. Like, subscribe, keep sharing, and don't forget to always tune in every Saturday and Friday at 14:15 GMT, if I'm not mistaken. Until we'll come your way next week, stay blessed, stay safe, plenty love from me to you. Bye bye.